What's up, everybody? Welcome to another review. Today I'll be reviewing the Grommash Hellscream statue by Blizzard Entertainment. So, for those of you who are not familiar with Grom was one of the orcs that was involved in the invading party during the first war between the humans and the orcs. What makes him so important is that he was the first orc to drink the blood of this demon that gave him this ultra super strength. Because he survived drinking that, the other orcs then fell through and all of them became infused with this ability. Their skin turned green and they became very strong. This would have been the first video game that Warcraft came out with. Now, this also had an effect on them. It made them become slaves to this demon. So during the third game, the orcs and the humans were fighting against the demons, and he found a way to control the craze that was going on inside him and was able to kill the demon that gave him the strength that he had, which thus freed all of the orcs from this enslavement. Unfortunately, he died during that attack. This depiction of him is from the Warlords of Draenor game of World of Warcraft, which took place before the events of the first game. It's complicated. You might want to just find a video that shows you all of the information on that. It's a pretty long, very good story. So, now that you know a little about him, let's start out with the box art, and after that we can get into this full statue review. Okay, here's the box art for the statue that it came in. As you can see, it's humongous. It's bigger than my Lazy Susan, so it's kind of wobbling. Hopefully you guys can get a good view of it. I'll take some nice shots to go along with this so you can see what I'm looking at. Front face is the concept design of Hellscream. It says Grommash Hellscream here on the side, and it's done in a nice gold. It has a sheen to it so that it contrasts with the box art itself. The side of the box has the Warsong logo done also in like a clear shine, which is kind of cool. It's like if you don't really look at it in the right light, you can't see it, but it's kind of neat. Again, Blizzard logo here. And on the back is a preview of what the statue is going to look like, along with a saying here from Blizzard, and again the Grommash Hellscream wording on the side. Yeah, I think it's done very good. You know, this is really good box artwork. Very nice to have along with the statue. So give me a minute to set the statue back up here, and then we'll do the review on the statue. Okay, so I got him back on the Lazy Susan. Let's get into this. So first, let's start off with the base. This sculpt, by the way, is awesome. The base of the statue is that of the demon that gave the blood craze to the orcs. This is after Grommash killed him, and it's pretty well sculpted. Down here, you can see his teeth. There's so much detail in the face. You can see the wrinkles all in the skin. The green blood dripping from his nose. The lips look wet. The tongue looks wet, still fresh from the kill. The skin is just amazing. Almost has that look of like elephant skin, you know, like rawhide. And then the tusk has all these etchings and markings in it. It's insane how much detail is in the statue, especially for how much this thing cost. It was very inexpensive, you know, when you compare it to other statues. The head is sitting on this rock formation. The rocks also have extreme detail in it. There are these oozing areas of green bile that are in the inside of these crevices. It's got a nice gloss to it, which gives the contrast against the rock. Very awesome, very heavy, very well sculpted base. You know, they knocked this thing out of the park with that. So let's move up to Grom himself. So Grom is also completely sculpted. None of this is mixed media, by the way. And just like in the base, there is an amazing amount of detail in here. I mean, you can see the leather feel to this shoe, along with the metal armaments that are connected to it. The strapping, you know, everything is made to look like what it is. You can see over here, the top of the shoe, you know, they have all this cross hatching to make it look like all the different hairs on the boot top. You know, moving in onto the leg. The leg has cuts and everything from the blood, probably from when he got hurt during the attack. I mean, they didn't really spare any expense on the detail. Even did this the sash that sits on his belt and passes between his legs. This thing is fully sculpted as well. It's extremely well detailed. The skull on the belt buckle, it looks very much like ivory. You can see the knee pads and the horns coming off, and then one of the horns is broken. You know, gives it this this sense of story. It just is awesome. So then, you know, you got the axe that he has. This is the Hellscream axe. This thing is awesome. So the axe has all these thorns coming up from the top, you know, and you can see the blood of the demon that he killed. The axe itself has a bunch of different etchings, you know, so it looks like it's got a used look to it, which is great. You know, gives it, again, giving more of the story. The War Song logo, which is the clan that he's part of, is etched into his the gauntlet. So then, you know, moving on to the handle, you have this leather piece of the handle here, which looks like it's been wrapped. It's awesome. And then, you know, you got the hilt here, which, you know, has this nice metal look with thorns. It almost looks like a hand grabbing around the hilt. So the sash here that he's wearing, it looks like it's supposed to be skin hide. You can see all of the stitching that holds the pieces together. And then the belt itself has a leather look to it, has all kinds of cross hatching in it. It's amazingly done. The skin itself, you can see every little bit of his skin. All of the pores almost seems like it, and his skin looks just like it's rough, like it's something that is not smooth at all. It's perfect. It's all very well sculpted and etched. It's like it's just carved perfectly. You know, there's nothing wrong here. The pauldrons here look awesome too. Very well detailed. You know, you have the little bolts on each and every area of the pauldron, along with this leather padding and then this hair material beneath it. Each one of them sculpted very differently to give it the contrast that it needs to have, so you know what you're looking at here. His face has so much expression. You can just see him screaming, and his tongue has got this wet look to it. You know, so it gives it a nice glare. I mean, it's amazing how they're able to even get in there and do that. You know, all the teeth are modeled perfectly. The eyes have such expression. It's extremely well done. The hair is done very well too. Again, like other statues, you want to be careful with these hairs that stick out like this, is because it's very delicate. Some people have gotten the statue broken on the teeth. I was lucky and mine didn't come that way. So, you know, something to think about when you get it. So I would give the sculpt a 10. You know, there's so much detail, so much going on in here that it's insane. You know, it must have taken them forever to do this. It's beautiful. Yeah, nothing more to say about that. So let's move on to the paint. Okay, so the paint. So the paint is done also pretty well. There are some areas that you know, it's hard to see some things, so I'll get into that. So let's start off with the base. So the demon, very well painted. You got nice green hints in here and grays. There's so many different shadings in there. You know, you got yellow and some like pink areas of red. The skin is made to look here on the lip like there's a gloss to it, along with the tongue. And you can see his green blood, you know, pouring out. With regards to the green blood, maybe the green blood should have had some kind of gloss to it. It kind of looks like it's just been painted on there. So, you know, that part of it is could have been done a little better. His eyes here have a nice shine, which is, they did a good job with that. You know, the horn has got this cool fade. There's a nice dark area here, and then it fades off into the nice ivory tusk. They did a good job with that. Very good color. Now you can see here that the head and the rock formation, it's almost the same color. So, you know, that part, I think they should have done something a little different here. It's just, you know, it's hard to tell where the head ends and where the rock formation begins, other than this blood area that's around there. So for that, they could have done a little better there, but you know, again, not so bad. The rock formation has, you know, different types of grays, light little yellows in there, and then the green vial in the inside of the crevice here is done very well. I love that. It's got bubbles in it and everything to give it that nice pop. The suit that he's wearing, the armor, that is painted perfect. You know, you have really shiny, bloody areas here, and it's dripping onto his suit. The suit itself has been painted so that it has this, you know, gray dull look to it against this you know, white weathered topping of the boot. You can see in the boot itself that the metal on the shoe has a nice weathered metallic look to it. You know, right against this leather boot, it's done very nicely. You know, and then you got the red that's inside of his gauntlet along, you know, this metal. The metal again is very weathered. I love the weathered look that they gave it. It makes it look like, you know, this guy's been through all kinds of hell, you know, which is what he's doing. You know, the metal here is done very well too. You know, it's meant to look weathered, along with the blood. You know, here they did a nice job. The blood looks like it contrasts very well against the metal. Did a real good job there. You know, the skin is painted extremely well. You know, you got the tattoos that look like tattoos. It's almost like it's faded onto the skin, just like a tattoo would be. It's done extremely well as also. You know, all the muscular areas got nice shading in it. You know, the face, he's got a tattoo going down the chin here. You know, and then it looks like his cheeks have been hit. So, you know, there's a little bit black and blue areas. You know, it's awesome. You know, they knocked it out. It looks great. You know, good job. Okay, so design. I love the design. There's nothing wrong with the design. They did a great job. This thing like it came right out of the video game. You know, he's standing over the demon. You know, he's standing like, you know, I did this, I killed him, you know, for the horde. You know, you get this nice feel of that. You know, it's great. You know, there's nothing that they could have done any better with this. From the moment I saw this, I knew that I wanted to have it. They did an amazing job with the concept of this. So yeah, perfect. All right, so my overall thoughts of this, I'm extremely happy with the statue. I picked this up when it was still on sale at Blizzard. It was not very expensive with regards to other statues that are out, and it looks like it should be. It doesn't come with all of the extras that other statues do, but it doesn't need to. I mean, this thing is done so perfectly that, you know, you couldn't have done anything better with this thing. I mean, they did a good job. It's got the right feel, the right colors. You know, it looks like it came right out of the game. So I think that anybody that would get this statue, if you're a big Warcraft fan, you know, this is the statue for you. If you have the other ones that Sideshow made, you know, along with it, I don't, but you know, if you do, this will be a nice companion piece to go along with those. It's done very well. You know, you'd be very happy with it. I definitely recommend it. You can probably find it on eBay still right now, and you know, it's definitely a recommended buy. All right, so that's my review of Hellscream. Hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. If you did, you know, please hit a like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews.